So, last time, our
Under
group,
line of doom, as
essentially,
Spoonie would put it.
yeah, essentially things went tits up. The main palace was
You
attacked.
rested, right?
Yeah, you rested with the group, and this was right after you saw the three snake people, the three cobra people, actually, just slithering through the little clearing you guys were sleeping in. You saw, after a major clusterfuck at the palace, in which a lich of indeterminate age or origin emerged from a portal with a drider, kidnapped the heiress-to-be, and then launched a barrage of skeletons after you. You managed to defeat them. You managed to defeat most of them while escaping by the skin of your teeth, only to be transported to an unknown area. Quickly discovering that you were in the frontier lands of Civic, in the relatively unexplored, untamed frontier lands of Civics, you were quickly accosted by a group of native lizardmen. You managed to escape the lizardmen by way of aerial movement. However, you did possibly give up quite a few supplies in the abandoned village you were in. Luckily, you managed to make your way and found a group of friendly, if a bit unusual, outlanders. A very hulking man named Bear, a rather inquisitive half-elf by the name of Alia, and a drow elf by the name of Whisper. All of them seem to be amiable and rather accepting of you four, even believing your story. You made camp for the night, and we will start off with Rainer, right where we left off. Him seeing a group of three. Well, you wouldn't know what the hell they are, but for the rest of you, Yuan T, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, not purebloods, but rather lower members. Those of
Converts.
That's what their name is.
I heard them described as one. Once,
they're essentially
different campaign.
We're essentially snake-like with arms, having a lower body that is entirely a snake's tail, and having a head similar to that of a cobra's, except with human-like features and a set of arms. One appeared to be heavily bleeding, and rather than attack or do anything, they acknowledged your presence, but decided instead to move on. Whether you share this with the others or not is up to you, but morning comes. The others wake up. The fire is stoked for breakfast, then put out. Whisper is the only one that doesn't seem to be eating for some reason. The others eat a fair share of the meal and share with you as well. It is a rather unusual meat that is being served for breakfast. It tastes nothing like any of you have eaten before. Not bad, but alien. Now, granted, given that each of you are starving from the last day of exertion, you don't question it, but it certainly does concern you that none of you can figure out what the meat is, what the meat came from, at least.
I'm really scared what you're setting up right now.
And that's where we will start. All of you eating breakfast. It is also a bit of surprising for you that it is morning and the sun is not almost at the midday position already, given that you all had grown accustomed to the rather unusual environment that was the Mytrelian desert. You're free to ask whatever you want. One more thing you do notice is that far to the south, you see a large pillar of smoke. Its black and grayish plumes rise into the sky. And it just seems to be there. it wasn't something you noticed last night because it was a bit too dark, but now in the day with the sun behind it, outlining it perfectly, you see it. Three of you, seven of you are sitting around the campfire eating. What will you do?
I'm going to ask about what I saw last night.
Which one do you ask?
Bear.
Huh? You mean Yanti?
The what tea?
Yanti. Don't know how to spell it, but that's just always how I hear him say it. Yeah, the people we rather avoid. Something's not right with them in the head.
Well, they were running from something.
Might have been they had a tangle with the lizard folk. The way I hear it, those two don't always see eye to eye on issues, even though they're both cold-blooded. Then Alia kind of elbows him in the shoulder for that, which he kind of... You get the sense that he doesn't feel pain from it, but he's just recoiling for her benefit. What? They're not related. Well, they both got skills, and they both tend not to like us, so... Sorry if I have trouble seeing them as different things. You see Whisper's just kind of shrugging his shoulders, and what you guess would be a sigh if he vocalized it.
What about big things that eat trees and then can't be seen at night?
There's a ton of things that just eat plants, but I haven't heard much about anything that just eats trees. You'll have to ask one of the
thing that was the big thing that I couldn't get a clear look at.
No, yeah, I know, and this is his answer.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You'll have to ask one of the elders about that crap.
Oh, flashbacks.
Suddenly Vietnam style flashbacks go through your head. Oh, they're known as abominations.
My old friend.
And yeah, just to be thank you, expanded compendium. What you saw were known as Yanti abominations.
The people or the thing I couldn't see?
The three you could see were known as
the snake people.
Yanti abominations.
Interesting.
And the highest rank is known as pureblood. Good to know. All right, let's move on.
Already getting in good use.
And okay, so Jing, you notice that Lucy has eaten. Okay, it's kind of funny to you because you've seen Lucy has eaten about as much as Bear has eaten. And given that Lucy is about a fifth his size, a bit funny.
Well, considering she was emaciated, not, what, 2 months
Well, no,
ago?
she's like fully healthy now. It's just this is what she naturally likes to eat. If she can help it. But yeah, no, she eats as much as Bear eats. Like, even Alia is kind of looking at her a bit funny.
What is she eating?
The meat.
Where
She
did
was
we
the
get
first.
meat from?
The 3 Outlanders had it.
Can I, check this meat to try to determine its source?
Roll a nature check with disadvantage. A, because you don't have the original carcass it came from, and B, you have no idea to go from taste or smell or anything like that. It might be a reptile or a fish. It's a 50-50. It's definitely not a mammal. You think. Hell, you're not even sure if it's not a mammal. Bottom line is, you have no idea. Tastes good, though. It appears they actually know, because it's like, they got spices and shit. Like all kinds of fancy seasoning. They made this right. But Elizabeth, you want to say anything, or are you just eating?
I'm just eating.
You have like one of the cliche just bone sticks with like a massive hunk of meat just stuck to it, and you're just chewing giant chunks out of that at a time. But okay, so an hour passes, you all eat your meals, and it's a relatively filling breakfast. Did anybody not eat like a particularly large amount of the meat? Or did you all eat like a good amount that would constitute like a healthy breakfast, essentially?
I'd eat probably half a ration.
Surprisingly, you feel as if you ate a full meal of this stuff. Like, you look at Lucy and she's like already starting to like doze off a bit. Like, she just ate a lot. But you feel as if you've already eaten like a full meal and a half from just what you've eaten already. Whatever it was very filling. The other three pack up camp. Whisper looks off in the distance, squints slightly, and then taps Bear in the looks off to the north a bit, sort of into the tree line, essentially. Looks there slightly. His eyes widen a bit, and then he taps Bear on the shoulder and points. Bear looks, oh, hell. All right, we gotta get moving.
What's going on?
Problem?
Not at the moment, but if we stay here too much longer, we will. Thing about this place, it doesn't like people like us staying in one place too long.
What does that mean?
If you stick around for about another hour, you'll find out. But if you don't want to deal with some really nasty things, I suggest you come with us. Unless you want to go back to wandering in the village and meet one of the less friendly lizardmen tribes. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm not in the mood for giant scaly things right now.
Choices.
They'll take that as a yes. All right, let's get moving. And over the course of about 5 minutes, they break down camp. And it's pretty impressive considering they had sleeping rolls, like an actual fire pit, an actual almost like makeshift fire pit, and even roasting spit. They break it all down in about 10 minutes and have it all just packed up and ready to go. And it's an impressive setup. You can tell that they've been doing this a lot. Several times. Over and over and over and over. Bear quickly looks up, scans the horizon, locates the smoke pillar. All right, let's get moving. And the group just dashes off. Do you follow?
I mean, we don't really have any better leads.
Always go towards the smoke.
All right, you follow the group. They lead you through the forest, and it's about a 2-hour walk. Rainer, you check your watch. It's about 9. And the sun's still pretty far from midday from the midday point. Back in the capital, it would have been full midday at this point. But regardless, eventually, you again come to another clearing. The first thing you notice is that there are several, that the point you break out between, there's this large wooden pillar right in front of you. The other three sidestep around, and you don't realize until now that they had been moving at a pretty breakneck pace. All of you roll dexterity saves to see if you can manage to get sidestep in time. Jing, you essentially had to pick up and carry Lucy because they were moving too fast for her. But so yeah, everybody roll dexterity saving throws. Jing, you see it before it even comes into view, and you just are immediately out of the way. Necro, you flap your wings once and catapult off it, and it's like 40 to 50 feet tall. You clear it in one bound with your wings. Rainer, you basically do the same thing as Jing. You bolt around the side before it even comes into view.
What pillar, bitch?
And you look back, and from the inside, you see this large decorative podium, similar to the one Bear had, but much smaller. Much larger, I meant. Carvings are roughly the same, and it's about 50 feet tall. At every 10 feet, it's marked, and then another section and then a different carving begins. Each one's different. The bottom seems to be the face of a bear. The second, face of a bird with two wings poking out the side. Third is a wolf. Fourth is a snake. And fifth has yet to be carved. So, and you look, and it seems to be glowing slightly. A faint green light is clinging to the very outline of it, and you feel this slight reverberation of power from it. Every few seconds, you feel this slight wave of energy. It makes your teeth rattle slightly. There's a small buzzing in the back of your head that you hear. Bear, and it almost seems distracting. The rhythm isn't hypnotic or like, it doesn't pull you in. It's just, if you stand by there too long, you'll be unable to hold a conversation because it'll just be such a consistent loop of background noise. It'll just be hard to concentrate on anything else. I'd suggest you all move a couple feet away from it.
Why? What does it do?
Nothing permanent. It messes with your head a bit. So we keep everything else out. Anyways, welcome to our home. And as all three of you look around, you see this large clearing built around this massive pyre, essentially. There's smaller huts, even trees towards the edges as you look around, and it's a large circular organization, essentially. And you also see, like in the distance, other pillars similar to the one you just saw behind you, the one that's behind you, but you can't see if they're glowing or not. But you get the sense they might be. People are moving in and out. Some of them... Rainer, the dress code is similar to your own, but also completely different. In a way that there's no set dress code in a sense that, like, this is socially acceptable. It's more, this is what we could find, and this is what we're using to cover ourselves, damn it. It's an odd feeling for you, to say the least.
No shit.
Yeah. You moved about here.
Holy shit, we actually moved.
Yes. I'm gonna get rid of that symbol. Guess it's hard as hell to move. Getting you something actually good to use for once. All right. Meet Compass, the new you. All right, so you notice the huts, Rainer. The huts harken back to yours, the style you remember in your village, but again, they seem to have built theirs out of a mixture of. It's essentially like large log cabins.
Like longhouses?
Pretty much. Except parts of them are made out of bone. Not human bone, just really fucking big bones. From something. You also notice that around the pyre, there are 3 very old tree trunks. Or at least what you think might have been part of one tree, one massive tree that just separated over the years. Regardless, it almost seems to spiral around the column of smoke that's being produced, and there's 3 large houses of stone and wood that are supported. They don't look anything like the houses you've become accustomed to back in Misadventures, but they do evoke a certain style similar to they have an Oriental style, essentially. There's also a few other noticeable locations that seem much larger than the other houses. One has steam coming from it. Actually, 2 have steam coming from them. But they're sort of sequestered away kind of in the middle, kind of away from the middle, but not towards the edges. The people are fucking hell, they're diverse. Halflings, orcs, half-orcs, hell, you even see a few hobgoblins. If any of you know what goblins are, you just see a bunch of red-skinned folks. You also see humans, half-elves, elves, high elves, wood elves, dark drow elves. It really seems like this village is just, we'll take whoever, is really just a grab bag of almost every race imaginable. The only ones you don't immediately see are tieflings, Asamir, and a few of the other weird races. Goliath is another one you don't see. But beyond that, you see just about almost every race you can imagine.
Call me weird.
So this place is a lot like where I came from, huh?
A lot more diverse and a lot more humid. That's another thing you notice. There's like this feeling of moisture in the air that none of you are really used to. You felt it back when you were on this. Sorta. It's a jungle. Remember that. Jungle. But the point being, there are these two groups that come up to meet you. Well, really 2 people. Both are wearing what you assume is armor. It's made out of this wood-like material, but it looks a lot like plate armor, but it's just made of wood. You don't know how effective it'll be, but the guys wearing it sure as hell seem to trust it. One of them is a much larger figure and is definitely male and probably an orc. You can't tell. He's wearing a helmet. The other is also male, but much lithe, much spindlier. Yeah, much more. Yeah, skinnier. And he's also wearing essentially a robe. Like, essentially a toga. Except seems he knows how the hell to wear one because he's not, like, constantly adjusting the damn thing.
Ah, the Greeks.
Not exactly. It looks slightly modified. There's stuff to cover the shoulder that would usually be exposed, and that just more seems to be the same wood-like material that the armor's made out of. Even in cases like the whole fist, but there's still like individual finger digits. And he is one of the red-skinned individuals. they start. Do any of you speak Orcish?
Nope.
No.
They start speaking in a dialect that none of you can understand. It's a series of guttural grunts, very harsh vowel sounds, and it honestly kind of sounds a bit grating to any of you that speak Elven, because it just seems to be such a drastic contrast from the language that it legitimately makes your ears hurt slightly just hearing it.
I cast comprehend language.
Okay.
Boy, that spell's getting some legs, huh?
The words. Okay, for you, since you're using like mid conversation, the words blend from this incomprehensible mess into words you understand, specifically common. And all of a sudden, like the feeling in your ears, it's still there. It's just now your brain doesn't understand why you're feeling it. It's a bit weird, but you at least understand it. And right now, the larger individual is talking. Bear, who the hell are these people? Remember the last time you brought in outsiders? Do we have to go through that again before you learn your lesson? Bear speaks up. Oh, come on. They look fine. Remember, the last time we got like 20 of them, not 3. Well, 4. I don't count the kid. Besides, they seem to be pretty spooked. They also said they were running from the lizard folk. The smaller red-skinned individual. Well, we don't know. Maybe they're lying. Remember the last group wasn't exactly truthful? Yeah, but they seemed pretty beat up about it afterwards. They did apologize and return our stuff. That doesn't bring back the 3 they killed. Look, we're willing to give them leeway, but they'll have to visit the elders to make sure they're okay. Bear looks kind of downcast. All right. Very least, you think we can let them freshen up? They don't exactly seem all that well put together. You hear one of them like overtly just like sniff in your direction. It's the larger fellow. Yeah, send them to the baths. I think the elders might just kill them on the spot if we send them out smelling like that. Jing, you instinctively smell, and sure enough, the dampness has definitely sped up the process of perspiration. And you smell as if you've been running for a week straight. Bear flips around.
The restroom is that bath.
Okay, so good news. You're not gonna die here. Bad news, you gotta meet the elders or else they might kick you out.
Is there worse news?
Yeah, you gotta take a bath.
Depends if you are opposed to bathing. If not, then great news, you get a free bath. If so, then you're gonna be forced to take a bath.
I sniff self. How bad do I smell?
Roll a constitution save.
He gets knocked out.
Really?
Roll a constitution save. You smell and then you barely hold back vomit. Yeah, you stink. Elizabeth, you laugh your ass off at that.
We were fighting, then running, and then running again.
You see Alia snicker a bit, and even Whisper seems to be holding back a chuckle. Well, a mute chuckle. And Bear says, okay, whatever you say. Come on. I'll show you how to use them. And he leads you to one of the 2 houses emitting steam, and it's bathhouse. Like, Japanese-styled bathhouse.
Onsen.
Pretty much.
Also,
Yeah, there's 3 large chambers. Male, female, and mixed. Which one do you want to go in? Because I'm not going through the process of Bear explaining to you how to bath. How to use the onsen, damn it.
How to bathe.
Rainer would not know the difference.
Jing, I'm assuming you're going in mixed so you can bathe Lucy.
Yep. Let's do this shit.
I'll probably be in male because I don't want to be anywhere near Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
I go female. I don't trust these people yet.
All right. So each of you go in.
I was waiting for Elizabeth. I'm going in the mail. Like, what?
It's like I'm going in the mails, and let's see who tries to stop me. Okay, so Elizabeth, you walk in, and there's a good number of other women. Most of them seem to be older or younger, much older or much younger than you, like elderly or basically pre-pubescent girls. The thing
Flat
is,
chest or saggy breast.
Dude,
neither.
stop.
Well, the girls are underdeveloped. The women look better than you. Somehow.
That hunting gathering lifestyle, man. Build you strong.
Most of them are like gathered into smaller groups and they're helping the younger girls bathe. So they don't, like, a few of them give you what the hell kind of glances. Though you do see one other of your kind in the bathing area. She's a young girl, but you see another one of your kind. Golden scaled.
That is unexpected.
And she's also like just full form. She either doesn't know how to control or just doesn't give a shit. So you just relax and it feels amazing. Like, over the course of, how long would you stay there? Like an hour or 2?
I go 2 hours.
Any like stress in your body just seems to melt away. Like, every time you take a breath, you feel like these pops in your bones. Like you feel these almost like snapping of muscles untightening themselves as you just let the water do its work. Jing, mixed bathing is surprisingly empty at the moment, at least. You have the entire place to yourself, and Lucy has never seen this much water in one place. Because remember, cave. But the point being,
They didn't have a big ass bathroom at the royal family's house.
You mean Lisa's?
Yeah, no, they didn't have one of those. They had tubs.
Wait, then where did I bathe?
Tub?
You said it was a freaking pool with a statue in it.
Yeah, that was for you and specialty. You got the royal treatment. Everybody else got tubs.
Because I was getting my ass kicked every night.
Well, that and another reason, but if you didn't know that at the time, I'm not going to say it. Regardless,
I'm
there's...
pretty sure I put 2 and 2 together by now. Out of
Okay, yeah, no, but...
Lucy
essentially,
was watching that fine ass babe.
Yeah, no, but you two, Xing and Lucy, you two essentially have like a great time. Lucy is like splashing around and having the grandest time, and you're just watching her with bemusement. Rainer, you feel very inadequate.
There's a bunch of muscle dudes in here, isn't there?
There are guys twice your size. And they look about as old as you. Hell, a few of them are elves, and they're still bigger than you.
Are they bigger than it counts?
You're all wearing towels, unless
Good.
you were walking in there buck naked.
I'm just saying.
Do it.
I'm not walking in there butt naked, but...
Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
the towel
I
was only
just
covering
remembered that.
most of it.
No, but like even despite that, you still feel like slightly inadequate because of muscle mass. There are a few that look surprisingly like you, with sort of Bruce Lee body type, like no, not muscle bound, but
Tone.
essentially Olympic swimmers' bodies. I'd say is the best way to describe it. Like there's no overbuilt muscular.
So they're toned.
They're not Conan. They're more Bruce Lee. Is the best I can explain it as. If that makes sense. But point being,
They're very athletic.
yes, and that's like even the weakest looking ones. The biggest looking ones, and it's surprising because they all just seem to be like, they are very comfortable around one another. And before you take that out of context, because fuck you, I know you all would do that. It's
I
more
didn't say
like
nothing.
they're all just like,
give me a back club. Yeah.
God damn it, no.
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh my god, no. No, we are not going there. Not yet. Point being, they actually seem pretty accepting of the new guy, and even if you kind of wade over and start talking with you strike up. They're surprisingly amiable. These are the best Conan-looking motherfuckers you've ever met.
Get to the chopper. Let's go.
But you learn a bit about their culture, why they, and I'll explain this later, but you learn quite a bit about their culture, and that exposure is kind of a normal thing for them, which is why they're kind of so comfortable around one another. Because, yeah, Rainer, even in your village, it was kind of awkward to show excessive amounts of skin. Here, it seems normal. But eventually, all of you get out, you feel refreshed, you feel, in Elizabeth's case, you feel slightly annoyed, but nevertheless relaxed. And all three of you get out, and all four of you meet up again. Lucy's hair is like dripping and covering her head. She looks like the ring girl at the moment. She looks like an inverse of the ring girl, actually. Surprise. Yeah, that actually is kind of funny. She looks like an inverse of the ring girl, like stark white hair with pitch black skin.
Jing, she's gonna catch a cold. I try to like wring out her hair a little, like, gently.
How is she gonna catch a cold? It's hot as fucking balls out here.
But all three of you roll perception checks. And this was just over the duration of the 2 hours. Okay. Jing, there wasn't much to notice, so you didn't care. Necro, God, I gotta keep looking at your own race.
Dragon song.
Draken girl kept like throwing glances at you and kept whispering to one of the older women. And you definitely noticed that they were talking about you. And Rainer, you were getting checked out.
Excuse me?
Like, remember how Lisa was looking at you when she got drunk?
Oh, God!
You were getting a few appreciative looks.
Awkward.
From inside.
Three dudes over there like dead ass.
Yeah, guys were looking at you like Lisa looked at you in the love potion.
That's not disturbing at all.
Anyways, all three of you are gathered again, and you're brought to... And you're met by the two same individuals, the one in the wooden armor and the one in the toga with wood armor on the left arm.
I'm doing Lucy's hair while we're standing here.
What style? Oh, and Lucy only has one of the 5 outfits now. I just realized.
We still isn't all her crap in the bag of holding?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
it is.
okay, never mind then. I thought you had left it all at the house.
Where
Nope,
would he
I
put
put
27 dresses?
Oh yeah. You get her in. You pull out her old tunic because honestly, in the condition, you don't want to get anything else soiled because you know a bit about maintenance for clothing, but not enough if something gets torn to shreds. Which, given that during the walk to the village, you saw several trees that were just covered in spikes. Yeah.
Oh, while we're waiting, can I braid Lucy's hair? Just in
You
that,
guys
like,
don't understand the image at the moment.
I'm going
2
for-
men!
What?
2 men braiding a little girl's hair.
I'm doing it so it's nice and like tight because she has a lot of freaking hair.
Yeah, no. Unless you guys get that cut, it's starting to pool at her feet if it's not braided. We're starting to get Rapunzel levels of shit here, people.
Well, she
Bro,
hasn't
we're
had a haircut.
doing it up Star Wars style. Let's do this shit.
Leia?
Yes. I could dread it like Kit Fisto.
All right, so you got like the both full buns and then like a massive braid going down the back. But both of you roll sleight of hand checks. God damn, you do. God damn, you guys.
I was going for a giant, like, monk braid down. Like,
Yeah, no.
big
You
monk.
handle the monk braid down like the back, and Jing handles the 2 Leia buns.
Which, let's be fair, she has enough hair to do both.
Yeah, no, she does. And it's kind of worrying that she does, but she does.
None of us have scissors. We have knives and swords.
What's the difference?
The difference
claws.
is you have to pull the hair in its direction. Or the knife. Well, scissors keeps it a clean angle.
You think she would care?
I am trying to treat her nice.
You're that one hairstylist who takes it as an insult. You're really not helping your case here, man. Regardless.
My case is what? A good guardian person?
Considering 2 of you were fussing over her hair, I'll just leave it. Anyways, the 2 guys collect you, and they don't talk to you much. Probably because they don't think you can understand their language.
And they're right.
Well, not completely right, but they take you to the elder's house. One of them. Of the 3 larger houses, they take you to the... How would I describe this? One that
Grand
was
hall.
closest to you when you entered. So, like, there's a small spiral staircase built into what's left of the natural wood of the tree. Again, it's starting to look more like it was just one giant fucking tree. But you climb up it and get into the house. And it's bigger on the inside. It's 2 stories. And it looks like a fully functional home. Like one you guys saw back in my Tyrell. But the point being, when you get in, there's two individuals sitting down at the table. There's a table and just a table. No chairs. It's actually low enough that you guys have to sit on the floor to even be at it.
So we're Oriental.
Pretty much. Again, you're getting that. That's the definite style of this place. So all three of you sit down. Well, no, you don't even sit down yet because you see there's this large jug on the table and several cups. They're just like small hollowed out bowls that you have to hold with like one full hand. There's two people, a man and a woman, sitting at the table. They look to be talking with one another, and they look up. One of them is human, and a much older human, but very elegantly aged, a male. He's got like this full chin beard. He's got this like full beard, and his hair, and he's bald. But it looks more like he shaved his head rather than his hair was lost. There's also a large scar, and one of his eyes is just a milky white. This is his left eye. The other is a elven woman. Her hair is this vibrant, bright golden blonde. Her right eye is white, and her left eye is this piercing blue. Her features are very graceful, almost statue-like. Her hands, on the other hand, are gnarled with scars. It definitely looks like she's seen some shit, but not in her face. Well, except her right eye. The man speaks at first. Are these the four you talked about? The person in the armor just nods. Well then, please, be seated. Rainer, you have a general sense of how this works, and you immediately go into a and immediately just like sit down. How would you? Cross-legged or?
Monk, cross-legged, hands in my lap.
You just almost instinctively do so without even thinking, really.
I sprawl out on the floor.
You just like sit down and just like let your legs kick out. You set Lucy on your lap. Elizabeth, how do you sit?
Let's go with the Japanese style. Like sit on the
Sitting
legs.
on your legs?
Yeah.
That's painful, man.
Nah, I get used to it.
Oh, you're sitting that way?
She really doesn't weigh that much, though.
It doesn't matter. It is your bone hitting the floor. I've actually tried to sit like that. It hurts.
How are you sitting? Like on? Like how are you sitting again? Like I think I know.
Legs under her.
Kneecaps pointed out with.
Oh, I've done that before. It doesn't hurt if you know how to distribute yourself. But it does start to hurt after a while.
We're all seated.
Okay, so the man. There's also two individuals, a younger man and woman as well. The man is one of the red-skinned individuals, and the woman is a drow. Lucy's eyes kind of widen when she sees the drow as they all set out the cups and pour you. It's a clear, whitish. It's a clearish liquid with a whitish tinge to it. It looks...
Does it smell alcoholic?
No, not at all.
Is it like coconut water? Is it like coconut water?
You're not sure.
Does it smell like anything?
It smells like tea.
Oh, is this jasmine? No, wait, that's not wrong tea. Never mind.
It's... I think Oolong Grey would be the correct terminology.
Ah. We're getting Japanese as fuck up in here.
Hell yeah, boys!
All non-weeaboos leave.
Not that far, but like I said, I kind of went nuts when designing this whole world. Regardless, here's how things go. The man is the first to bring it up and just, without even making noise, just drains the cup. He sets it down, and the man immediately goes back to fill it again. He does this 3 times, while the elf, the older one. So, the 3 of you, 4. And she waves slightly to Lucy, who wide grin, just like eagerly waves back. Came with one of our hunting parties. Now, if recent events had not occurred, we'd be completely willing to host unexpected guests, but that experience has forced us to be more... She seems to almost be searching for a word that doesn't make them sound paranoid.
Cautious?
Yes, I suppose that would be a word. Now, please understand, we bear you no ill will, but... The man finishes his 4th cup. We need to make sure you're not a threat to us. So, we're going to be asking you a few questions and we'll do a few things of our own to ensure that you mean us no harm. You feel the slight pulse of energy from him. And let me get the spell up again.
Oh, is this Sphere of Truth?
Yes, actually.
Hey, I called it!
Well, at least out of character. In character, you have no idea what just happened.
Of course not. He has no idea what... I think cleric?
Holy magic, so yes.
I don't think we've met any cleric types yet.
Or rangers.
Zone of Truth, but same thing. All of you roll charisma saving throws.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to lie.
Funny enough, you all fail except for Necro.
Holy shit, really?
Dude's old.
No, I mean, they both got a 25, but the only reason he passes is because it's a crit.
Yeah. So, that is one of the precautions. So, first question. Hey, Laura, if you would. And the woman bows her head slightly. Thank you. What are your names? Elizabeth, you are the only one that doesn't feel compelled. The rest of you, the moment she speaks it... Okay, well, first say something.
Oh, this is gonna... Ooh. Wait, you want us to say something?
How do you answer the question?
I cannot lie.
Well, no,
so-
you don't know that, and you cannot tell a deliberate lie.
Well,
Let me-
I would say my name.
Let me explain how the
Rainer.
spell works. On a failed save, a creature cannot speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. So, Elizabeth, you see the man narrow his eyes towards you.
Oh yeah, what Lucy roll?
She succeeded too.
Are you fucking
The
serious?
fuck?
Nat 20s.
The freaking drow kid.
Like, she's just staring up, oblivious to all of it.
But he gives no dirty look to her.
Well,
He's a
yeah,
child.
she's a kid. And again, they really don't seem to care what you are. But point being, yeah, Elizabeth, he gives you a slightly dirty look before just... So how do you all answer the question?
Did I notice the dirty look?
I'm Rainer.
Roll a perception check.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Jing, how do you answer?
I mean, I would answer fully because I wouldn't care.
Yeah, Lucy's just, I'm Lucy. Elizabeth, how do you answer?
My name is Lisa Pendragon, Duchess of Avalon.
Are you fucking serious right now?
What was that last part?
Duchess of Avalon.
Oh, god damn it.
So you're just fucking with them.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Roll a deception check.
Come on, that's 20. Fuck.
The man's look gets worse.
And I do it with a smile.
Okay, good to know. Well, I suppose if we're being fully honest, my name is Elora. This is, let me get the names.
Just say Alora.
Elora, with an emphasis on nay. with the A. Hey, shut up. Even I. You realize the amount of shit I have to think up on my own? There comes a point, dude. Are you really giving me shit with all the other stuff I managed to make up over the time?
No.
The other one, my rather grumpy companion, is Maraltev. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintances. Maraltev is just like sitting there cross-armed. I'm still on the fence. Next question. Where are you all from?
I guess I'll say my Torel because that's where we came from.
That's across the ocean, correct?
See,
Yeah, sorry. God. That's across the Scarred Sea, yes?
I would assume so. If we're in Syrinx.
You indeed are. Well, that certainly means you're not. Well, that calling you foreigners would be something of an exaggeration, then. I assume you all are from Mitral?
I think that's directed at you, little lady.
Yeah, Elizabeth, that is looking at you.
I came from a floating island just above the ocean.
Roll another deception.
Gene can't hold it in. Gene's laughing his ass off.
The woman gives you a puzzled look, and the man's caught off guard by that. Like, what the hell?
I'm giving her the same what the fuck.
I'm laughing my ass off.
Okay. Good question. How did you come to be here?
Do we tell them? I guess tell them we got warped here by freaking whatever the fuck.
Was this through a portal opened with purpose, or was it one of the rifts?
It was a portal.
Did someone open it, or was it a
Yes.
rift that happened naturally?
It was opened by someone, but then broke, and then we got caught up in it. So halfway.
And this is legitimately the truth because you can't say otherwise. She looks at her other. We've never heard of a portal break, but given how chaotic this world can be, I wouldn't find that all that surprising.
How long does this spell last?
I think it's concentration.
10 minutes.
Ah.
But also, it's only a second level spell. You got no idea how powerful he is.
Apparently, he's powerful enough for a 25 not to beat his DC.
Yeah. Battery's got some enchanted item on him. One of the two.
Which I think it would have to be, because 20.
Because I almost have a 20 in my charisma, and my spell DC is only like 16. 14, actually.
All right, so you all She only seems to be asking Rainer at this point.
Because
Oh,
I'm
Rainer and
being
Jing.
a dick.
Pretty much. Do you know
And
what
I'm
our
showing
clan's
proper
name
respect
is?
for my elders.
Yeah. Do you know what our tribe's name is?
Nope. In a very respectful nope. No.
Yeah, no. Xing?
Bruh, I haven't been off my trail, so
I was gonna say that's a blatant lie because we were on a ship, but that was island was part of my Terrell. I wanted to see if we could.
It's one of those things that just skirt the edge. Elizabeth?
Nope.
The man just nods. And
I'm drinking my gray tea. How does it taste?
very nice. Very good. It triggers roll a wisdom saving throw to see if you have flashbacks. And I'm not kidding. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
I am good with wisdom.
It brings back memories, but pleasant ones. Ones of nights spent with friends and elders, chatting and sharing stories. Memories of spending time with friends relaxing. Memories that make you smile. Well, I believe that's good. What do you intend to do?
find the princess.
Eris.
Jing,
Get back
Same
home.
thing.
you don't say that.
Ooh, what does he say?
Jing, what would you say? Finding the princess isn't your best interest at the moment.
The hell's in my best interest right now?
Make sure my family's safe, is what you hear coming out of your mouth. And you immediately slap your hands over your mouth the moment that comes out of your mouth. But that's apparently what you really want.
Strange. I don't like this spell anymore.
You saying that out loud?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm giving the man a dirty look.
He's kind of like, Elizabeth, you sense that he's enjoying this, and yes, well, the truth is not always a very comfortable thing. You feel the slight pulse, and you suddenly feel that grip that you suddenly realize was over like a portion of your mind forcing you to say this vanish.
He dispelled the magic?
Yeah. You're free to stay here. You can make... We can have someone guide you to the village, but... If any... Are you three adventurers?
Yes.
Sort of.
We might have a job for you then. The three that brought you here, Bear, Alia, and what was it? Ilora. Whisper. Did any of them tell you why we have the totems? Or why they had to move so quickly in the morning?
Only that this place isn't like people standing still for very long?
The forest is cursed. The jungle as a whole is cursed. It's an ancient one that we believe originates during the Planar Wars. Whatever cast it is powerful enough to be able to affect a large portion of the continent. We've seen it work. It swallowed an entire settlement of foreigners. After that, it became docile, peaceful. It corrupts the wildlife. Those that die have a hard time staying that way. We are unsure of why, but we have our suspicions. The other tribes have their suspicions as well. The problem being, none of us can... We're all... I'll be the first to admit, we are a stubborn people. United, our tribes could root out this infestation and destroy it, allowing us to once again live in peace. Until that time, though, we will always live looking over our backs. The other tribes have recently entered a time of unrest. Any of our members are not going to be seen in a good light by them. That's where you three come in. Travel to the other 4 tribes and convince them to help us. Do this, and we can help you get back to your own lands. We might even be able to help you against this threat that stole your princess. Because, Rainer, you did say what you meant.
I think
you also mentioned I want to get back to my love, but that was sort of glossed over.
Wait, what? I said what?
Moving on.
No. He needs to react to that sentence.
You said we need to find the princess who Lich stole, and I also want to get back to my love.
And the minute that leaves my mouth,
you immediately go bug-eyed, clamp your hands over your mouth, and slowly try to hope that you can blend into the floor. Elizabeth, you notice the elven woman is trying to hold back laughter. And the man's just like... Ugh.
He's romantic, isn't he?
Meanwhile, in the present...
We can help you. We have artifacts. We know of ancient treasures. We can point you to objects of power that might help you. If you're interested, there's a meeting tonight to discuss this further. You have 2 options. Leave. If you wish to leave, say so now, and we will sign a guide to escort you to the nearest foreigner settlement. There, you should be able to purchase transport back to your mainland. You will not have to worry about us ever again. Or if you want to help save us, stay. And tonight, we will help you. We will explain the full breadth of our plan.
I look over to Jing.
And Elizabeth.
I do like treasure.
She does like shiny things.
Yes,
Lucy's like in your lap saying, I want to help.
Well, that decides it then. Been outvoted.
Were you going to say you want to leave?
No, I was going to give him a condition. Never use the zone of truth again.
And the man looks, I make no promises. But I'll avoid it. He extends his hand out. And it's this...
Lucy shakes it.
He Beastmaster styles her arm. And it's like perching where she's just like shaking her up and down. Like he gently sets her back, but she looks like shaken. She does look slightly giddy from the experience, though, of being shaken violently.
Being shaken violently.
She's shaken by a very well-built old man, you now realize.
When do we start?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Honored elder, if I could ask you a question.
Drop the formality.
Sorry.
Being called elder makes me feel old. I don't want to feel old.
Okay.
Marl Tev.
Marl Tev?
Yes.
There is someone I am looking for. I'm wondering if he may have come across your tribe. I give him the description of the elder that was missing.
He scratches his beard. I'm sorry, we haven't seen anybody like that. At least not that I remember.
It would have been a few years ago.
Like I said, we don't. I'm sorry. I won't ask why you're looking for him, as I know better than to delve into personal business.
Thank you.
However, I believe we might have some intruders. And at that point, the door falls over as Bear and Alia kind of sprawl into the room.
Were they just listening, ear cupped to the door? What?
It was Alia. Bear's kind of just standing behind her, like, just... because she fully face-planted with the door.
If she had a glass cup...
Oh, look at that. Well, I was just making sure. Oh, yeah, we talked about this. Oh, sorry, Sir Marotef. Sir, so, they staying? And she looks like very hopeful. Yes, they are. She, like, is holding back. Alia here has agreed to let you stay with her family. Alia, Bear, if you would. Bear kind of picks up Alia by the scruff of her neck and, like, sets her back down.
I down my tea and get up.
Bear also picks up the door.
Wait. She knocked the door off the hinges?
It was...
It's,
freaking...
It's a sliding door. It's like a panel door, essentially, except it sort of fell inwards.
Think of a screen on a porch window. You know how there's a separate thing between the normal door and to keep bugs out?
Yeah, the screen. She fell through the screen.
Except that's the door.
Anyways, so do you all follow them out?
I bow and I follow them out.
Elizabeth, you smoothly get up and roll a Constitution check.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. No rest for the wicked.
Oh, you get up extremely smoothly, and while it does burn a bit, you clench your teeth through the pain, bow your head, and walk out. Only after you leave and get down the stairs, you start like shaking out your legs slightly.
Oh, that's what you get for sitting samurai style.
But you do know that the next time you do it, you will feel no pain.
Right,
I toss the elders a bottle of rum and say, "Forget what you heard here," and walk out.
The Marltev like grabs it, clicks off the cork, and immediately starts chugging. He gives you like a thumbs up. You can tell one of them really likes drinking. But you do notice Alora snatches the bottle out of his hand and like smacks him on the head slightly for doing that.
It's a large bottle.
No,
There's
I know.
enough to go around.
No, it seems she's more angry at him that he's drinking. Then she takes a swig.
I am an enabler.
So the four of you are led. How are you transporting Lucy? Is like she's just walking on her own, or?
If she wants to, she's on my shoulder. Guy. If not,
and she actually makes it that she wants to ride on Bear. Do you let her ride on Bear?
Everybody's just staring at him. Everybody's just staring at him.
Bear's like he like picks up Lucy in one hand and kind of like puts her on his back. She's like extremely happy, and he just like lumbers along with this small child perched on top of his head.
Do 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 do.
They lead you to this one longhouse that's closer to one of the pillars. It's on the opposite side of the circular hut of the circular village. Alia like excitedly knocks on the door, and opening up, Rainer. Oh boy, it's a lot of women. It's a lot of women.
Confused right now.
A lot of there's a counting.
I thought she was taking us
8
to
women.
Her family's house.
Yes, and this is.
They're all her family.
Yes.
Yes.
8 girls, 2 men, 1 other woman.
That math does not add up.
Okay, the family composition is there are 9 girls, Alia being one of them. There is 1 boy, Bear, the father, and the mother. It's a big family. And this is a big house. It is one of the only ones that is a 2-story.
I don't have enough alcohol for this.
Don't you have 2 barrels?
1 barrel.
I have a barrel of gunpowder.
He's going to start drinking the gunpowder. You also have 1 barrel of really good wine, too. Remember that.
We have an expensive ass barrel of wine.
Pretty much, and you might drain it by the end of the night.
Oh, that makes me wonder. What if you poured something in a bag of holding? Would you just pour back out?
Okay, the bag of holding works like this. When you put something in, it doesn't go inside the bag, it goes inside like a small pocket dimension. Destroying the bag causes everything to sort of be lost in the pocket dimension, but something can reach in and try to grab something if they have enough magical power. If you poured a liquid in, you'd have to reach in. Okay, the way you pull something out is you reach in and you think of pulling that thing out, and you just have the item. With liquid,
You'd have a handful of liquid.
yeah, you'd have a handful of the liquid. Unless you just shove your hand in there, open the bag upside down, and just thought of the liquid, and then it just starts pouring out. Because unless you have like a continuous contact, it cut off the moment you pulled out your hand. So liquids are tricky with the bag of holding.
Could you drain a lake with a bag of holding?
No, there's again, it has a 500-pound limit.
I know, but water is not measured in...
You'd have to make the express motion of putting it in.
Like a bucket.
No, it wouldn't work like with a bucket. You'd have to put your physical hand inside. Because you'd lose the bucket the first time you did it.
I'm sorry, I just had a weird question. I'm sorry.
We're not bringing math into this. Good God, I've seen diagrams of people being able to do some crazy shit.
Rainer's terrified of this house full of women. Let's keep going.
Okay. So,
I can put you inside the bag of holding.
there's no air in there. He'd only be able to last about...
A minute per con modifier, I think, is the rule for suffocation.
Pretty much.
Also,
So
I know
what's
there's
your
no air in the bag of holding.
constitution?
He told me that when we bought him.
What's your constitution?
Oh, I just found out some. It'll take 59 gallons to be 500 pounds.
Longhouse, full of family that we will be staying until meeting.
Okay, so... God damn it. I need to look up all these names again. Because I wrote all this shit out. I just need to get it in my
We're
phone.
not going to write down...
Sister
entire
A,
family tree.
Sister B, Sister C, Sister D, Sister E.
Also, why is she so excited to meet us?
Alia?
Because she likes outsiders.
You get the general sense
She's bored.
she's got Disney princess syndrome. Small village sort of upbringing kind of forced her to stay confined,
she
and
wants to explore the world.
she just
And
was
everybody
getting
in this
bored.
party has an above average charisma.
Yeah, everybody in this party is kind of a charmer.
Excuse me?
All of you are, compared to most of the other people in the village, pretty different looking. Rainer, you kind of saw it that only a few of the others look like you. Everybody else is sort of muscle bound.
Oh, it's just because we're different than the status quo, is that it?
Sorta. So, to spare you guys the general pain of this, we'll just say that all three of you rolled d20s. This is gonna, because it's only about noon, and from the sounds of it, this dinner is gonna start at around 7. Oh, no, Rainer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the sisters sort of divide. 4 of them, including Alia, most of them being the older ones, go to Jing, being interested in Lucy mostly.
Chick magnet, yes.
Elizabeth, Bear, and the other sibling, who looks like a smaller version of him, come to you. Mostly because they're just kind of interested in what you are. It's like nothing sort of like flirtatious. It's literally like they haven't seen something like you very often, and they're just legitimately interested in you.
Wasn't there one in the bathhouse? Doesn't
Yeah,
one
no.
live here?
They haven't seen somebody like you much. There's one other. And she's still a kid. So mostly they just ask you about like what you are, how you've lived, like what you can do. Basically, it's just they just want to know about you. Raynor, you get the younger 4, and this is after Jing lets it slip that you braided part of Lucy's hair.
Oh,
You get basically almost threatened at knife point, because it seems every person in this family has some form of weapon to help braid their hair, like you did with Lucy.
are you serious?
Yes. You
not
spend the
nearly
next
as bad as
7
I thought it
hours
was.
braiding everybody's hair. You braid the younger sisters, you braid the older sisters, you braid the mother's hair. The reason it takes so long for you is that a lot of their hair is sort of this wild, untangled mess.
So we gotta comb it out first.
Use water and oil.
Yep.
So is that the whole day?
Essentially, they also are asking you about Lisa. A lot.
How do they know her name?
Alia, because you told Alia about her.
And
I
you
never
showed her
said
the book.
name.
She read it.
Where?
The book.
The book doesn't keep messages after they're read.
Well, okay, they don't ask you about Lisa
She was
specifically. They
eavesdropping
ask you
on the
about the girl.
conversation with the elders, so they know I have someone I care about.
She also was looking over your shoulder with the book.
Fuck! Right, I forgot about that. She just showed up next to me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So they're asking me about Lisa?
Pretty much. How much do you reveal?
I reveal that she is a half-elf and that we are close.
Together.
Because this is how... Yeah, roll a charisma check.
6.
They seem to interpret it as you two getting married, or you might have gotten her pregnant. I'm just going to leave it at that. Regardless, 7 p.m. rolls around, thank God. For you, Raynor, in particular, and you 4 are all brought back again to the village, back to the center pyre. And the smoke started to dwindle down. It seems the pyre started to run out of fuel. There's the elders, and there's 4 other individuals that have come together as well. One's, again, one of these red-skinned individuals that you all found out eventually were hobgoblins, a warrior-like race of goblins that have a similar lifespan to humans. One of them is a female hobgoblin. The other's a halfling male. And then the next pair are both orcs. One male, one female. They all seem to be preparing. They all seem to just be carrying supplies, and they set them down once they notice you 3 approaching, and then sort of disperse to handle their own business, leaving Alora and Marltev.
Mr. M and Mrs. A, what's going on?
Is that what you actually say?
Hell yeah.
Marl's just
smack Jing
don't
on the back
call
of the
it.
head.
Thank you. Since you're here, I assume you accept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there are 6 groups you'll need to make contact with and convince to join our sides. With those forces, with the combined forces of those tribes, we believe that and then Alora kind of starts raising her hand. We believe that it will be possible to root out the evil that is corrupting the jungle. He beckons you over, and there's this table that's been prepared. On it, there's a map of the local area.
Oh, can we say during the day I had like 30 minutes to myself to attune to that compass?
Yeah, you did.
Does that count as a slot?
Yes, sadly. It does.
All right.
He points you over to the map. All right, so there are 3 other tribes and a group. Much to our people's distrust, the Unti are not the cause of this corruption. If anything, we will need their aid. So, they are one group we will need you to go to. And he points out to the map. Here's where their main stronghold is. At the very least, that is where we have tracked them down to.
Oh, yay, snake people. This plan's getting better.
The
and better by
Stoneblood
the second.
tribes are the next group you'll need to go to. Or another group.
The what?
There are tribes. Stoneblade. They're superstitious, but numerous. They're the largest of the tribes they're the largest of the free tribes, as we call ourselves. There's also been word recently from our other hunting parties that the lizard folk have united under a single banner. They seem to have camped further inland. Supposedly, they live in the swampier areas of the jungles. We don't know what name they go under, Only that they have all tribes seem to have abandoned their past names. Convince them, and that is a veritable army.
So we're gonna Commander Shepard this shit. All right.
Guardians.
That's the first three.
Finally, there's the undead.
Excuse me, what?
Hunters have reported that one of the settlements originally of your kind, foreigners, has recently become active again. Except everyone there is dead. However, they don't seem to be violent. They seem to be controlled by something. Not benevolent, but not malevolent either. You don't need to make contact with this group, but if you can at the very least learn of what their group is, we would be grateful.
How many people?
Hunters aren't sure. They're only sure that the village is active again. Though supposedly this settlement was one of the larger ones. And if counting has been confirmed, somewhere in the low thousands.
That's great. High-level necromancy.
Possibly. Or they could have been raised by that. Finally, the Tritons.
Let me guess, they live in the water.
Yes.
Fuck.
Though they are known to frequent the... They are known to have a settlement close to the shore. There you go. That way you can see it better. This is where we've seen the most of their activity. Finally, there's one of the few settlements we know of your kind that still is active. They're all heavily armed, but any attempt by us to make contact has ended less than amiably.
Is that an arrowhead?
Shield.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand your mission?
Should you choose to accept?
I smack Shing on the back of the head again.
Thank you.
I'm gonna light your cloak on fire.
Do you understand what we ask of you?
Yes.
Please know, if you do not feel up to this, we do not hold it against you.
Did we ever
I
get
say we go to Dead Town first.
No, actually.
The Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger lookalikes.
Do you ask them what their tribe's name is, Rainer?
Yes, considering we're technically acting as representatives.
We are known as the Ember Trees, or the Ember Tree Tribe. Named, obviously, and he points to the massive pyre surrounded by what you assume is a very large tree's remains. Now, there is one other group that you might want to talk to. denizens of the forest in the most literal sense.
We're gonna talk to ants? Awesome.
Ents, dryads, treants. Yes. Wait, no. No, actually. Men of metal. They've been here long before us, and if what we've learned from them, they'll be here long after.
Wait, oh wait, no. That was the other campaign. I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
it was the
didn't we
other
save
campaign, but we got an
didn't
idea
we
what-
save a whole bunch of metal men? Rumpa-pum-pum.
Supposedly they were left by whoever originally settled this place millennia ago. They've been alive ever since, maintaining their lands. They don't seem to like us, but perhaps you three might be able to get entrance. We don't expect anything of it, but if you can get their numbers, we will have fierce warriors indeed. We've seen them conquer beasts much larger than themselves with far fewer numbers than what would be needed.
I say we go out and work our way in.
We know of a clearing that you can rest in for the night that is warded. You'll be able to stay there for a few days to plan before moving. We wish you the best of luck. Let me adjust these real quick. Yeah, the clearing would be about here.
So, stone, undead, human, gear, lizard, snake, trident? Is that a good route?
How you handle it, how you tackle this is your own to decide.
Oh no, that was aimed at us. Sorry.
No, I know. Sorry, just moving this out a bit so that it's evenly spread essentially. Wait, no, I'm looking at my original map positioning and I have to adjust these a bit. Yeah, that's about right. So, Whisper will guide you to the camp. Will guide you to the safe haven. Whisper the drow sort of steps up and kind of curtly bows to you four. Would you like for her to stay with us? And he points to Lucy. This road will be treacherous and long.
I mean, if y'all can keep her,
I believe we can.
Chances are she'll disappear before you can even say hi.
Lucy looks up. Do you want me to stay?
Do you want to stay?
Will I get in your way?
It'll probably be safer if you wait here until we come back.
Okay. And she gives you one big hug. It's essentially around your knee. She hugs each of you. Elizabeth, she hugs you. It's you're like that awkward aunt that just doesn't know how to react. And then she just trots back to Alia's family.
Okay, for the past 20 minutes, all I've heard from Necro is mumbles.
Yeah, that's how he talks.
Probably the mic.
So, Necro, how do you think about all this?
Our plans or emotional goodbyes? Plans or emotional goodbyes?
Yeah, you're not. So, they also hand you a satchel. Inside is the map with the markings of locations, a small journal cataloging essentially what flora and fauna you can eat and what can't be eaten, and what varying effects the ones that you can't eat will cause you to have. Also, a supply of 15 days worth of food for each of you. It's dried meats, jerky, and edible plant fibers.
We can take raw meat too. We got a bag of coating.
It's actually all already prepared for you. All of it's cooked, all of it's cured, preserved essentially already.
Into the bag of holding.
It weighs 30 pounds in total.
Think we're getting close to our first 100, guys.
So you're all led to it, and before Whisper leaves you for the night, he sort of like grips his neck to cover a portion of the scars. Good luck. Before turning back. So you're all left alone, and you notice that the site you're in is about, I'm gonna have to visualize this. Using old maps because I'm lazy. When you hear a car honking in the background.
What the hell was that devilish
This
beast?
devilishness.
Demon!
So I guess we plan?
You're essentially in this area.
What?
What are you rolling for?
I say we go here first.
Could you change the map?
Oh, 1 second. You're all in this area. So, as night comes around, so Jing, who do you suggest they go to first?
Straight down through the dead place, straight to the machines first.
You're about here. Well, no, wait. Since you were there, you're about here now. So you essentially suggest heading to the dead place first, or just heading straight to the Warforged.
I mean, we can stop on the way to the dead place, but I'm going to hit that straight beam all the way out to the Warforged. Because the dead was 1, the stones was 2, that guy was 3 over here, and that was 4. So
You could have rolled a d6. Wait, one,
There's
two,
seven.
three, four,
There's
five,
seven
six, seven.
things.
Oh, actually, I have something for this. There's a website I know of.
I recommend the zigzag pattern.
Use that website and you can set a custom dice. Yeah, Zheng.
Open,
You can actually.
open like a new window.
It's Yeah, you see it? This is how I actually roll secret dice on my own.
With D130s.
Essentially, yeah. Because you can set your own die number.
Huh, okay.
I say we go for the rock people first.
Well, that's who the little roly chose. No, they're number 2. Dead was number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. The die says we should go here first.
I also vote here first.
Elizabeth, who do you want to go to first?
To the undead.
So Elizabeth wants to go to the undead.
Does make sense to go to the rock first.
Okay, so you guys have to decide how to do this.
I say go to rock, then undead, then village, then warforge, and then we circle back.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Or we could go to the triads and then go down, work our way down.
The what?
The water diggers.
The Tritons?
Yeah, I was trying.
Okay. Just for reference, that's where the Ember Tree tribe is. Or Ember Tree clan, as Rainer you would call it.
What is the difference between a tribe and a clan?
You're honestly not sure. Or is that out
Okay,
of character?
boys.
That was an actual question. I don't know.
I'm not sure either. It's just something. I think clan is some sort of familial connection. Like it's a tight knit group of individual families, whereas a tribe is just a smattering of random people coming together.
Clan is a type of people that share the same bloodline. The
Oh,
tribe is just a bunch of people.
well then, Rainer, you were from a tribe and not a clan.
I wrote it as a tribe.
Okay, good. I was never sure, to be honest.
Good distinction.
Rock, paper, scissors in this bitch.
All right, so
So are we going to rock or water?
Odds are even.
Evens.
Even to rock, odds, fish people.
18's odd. Or is that even?
that's even.
So rock.
Rock first, then.
Come on, let's go get our faces smashed in.
It is going to take weeks to get there.
Actually,
Has anything new popped up in my journal?
a smattering of messages, actually.
Oh, Lord.
Where are you? 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 Because you have not answered.
I literally yesterday talked to her.
She might not have seen them. Oh, no, wait, she did, but you said civics. You've seen on maps how goddamn big that place is.
And I drew a small little map giving it what we thought we were based on the map we found.
Yeah.
So is it still a bunch of where are yous?
Pretty much still. Again, she's worried. Remember the last time you disappeared without a trace?
That's very true.
Yeah,
You're
almost
getting
got
flashbacks to this shit.
Spider.
I write to her, I'm still at Civic.
And given the fact that you might very well die by a giant spider here,
I write her...
more likely we get eaten by snake people.
I write her where... Who the fuck is making that noise?
Oh, that's my earphone. I have a special pocket on it for some reason. It's got like a magnet and I can pull it off.
all right, so you guys, you calm her nerves, tell her you're all right, tell her that you were with the Ember tribe, the Ember Tree tribe, and she's she says, I have no idea what that is, but okay. At the very least, you know where you are.
I don't know where the hell we are.
So, who takes first watch?
We're not just heading out. We're sleeping first. Okay,
Dude, it's like, yeah, it's almost midnight.
I'll take first watch.
Roll perception check.
How would I know that? I'm not the one with the watch.
It's almost pitch black.
The moon is high in the sky. I rolled a 15, by the way.
So, about 2 hours into your watch, you see a rustling in the tree line. Oh, sorry. Gotta shift back to the other one.
And out
What the
runs
fuck?
a
Where is
wild
it?
Lucy.
Suddenly, Lucy appears. No, about here, you see 4 individuals stand at the edge of the tree line. They make no intent to enter. They just stand there and stare.
What do they look like?
2 of them look similar to the snake people you saw last night.
The other 2?
One looks almost human. Granted, a human that is heavily covered in garments, scarves, cloaks, scarves, a cloak, and
So really, you can't really tell what he is. He's just covered in shit.
she.
Eh.
You can tell
Were
that
it
from
not
this distance.
for her body type is very strikingly feminine. What unnerves you, though, is the large greatsword strapped to her back, and the fact that her eyes are this piercing reptilian-like style. That, and you see her blink sideways.
Damn,
final
Raymond,
one.
you got some good eyesight.
Hell yeah.
The final one?
The final one looks like a cobra, the same as the other two, except it's bipedal.
And they're just standing there on the edge.
They sort of enter view for a few minutes. It seems like one of the snakes is conversing with the full human. She nods before they all exit.
Were they intentionally showing themselves?
Yes. Nothing else happens. Who takes second watch?
I'll do it.
All right, roll a perception check.
Watch this shitty ass perception roll. Oh shit!
Despite drinking heavily, you legitimately stay pretty focused. Enough to where you see the bushes rustling. What kind of dark vision do you have?
Dark vision.
Yeah, how much of that do you have?
The standard dark vision.
So 30 feet in dim light and whatever the crap the rest of it is.
Yeah. You see at the very edge a pair of reptilian eyes poke out before disappearing again.
And just because I feel like fucking with whatever's in that bush, I turned the whole bush alight with light.
You see something dash out quickly. You get a flash of blue from it. But you don't see anything else. That puts us at 8. All right, you guys had a full rest. So, you all wake up and break camp. Your course is set. Do any of you wish to talk about what you all saw?
I'll tell them about the Yanti.
Well, you don't know the name, so...
I was told the name. It's one of the tribes we're going
Oh, yeah. So you tell them about that. How would you describe them?
Snake people.
Snake people. We had a visit from a lizard man, too.
Reptiles.
Says the dragon.
She's not a reptile.
Dragons lay eggs.
She's warm-blooded.
You sure?
Positive.
Who are you attacking?
It's a natural 1, so herself.
You, Elizabeth, you go to slap somebody and you accidentally slap yourself in the back of the head. You don't take any damage, but...
God damn it.
So this is basically upgrade time, right?
No, this is hard question time, motherfuckers.
No, I meant like like if we make it through this alive, we're getting upgrades.
Yeah, no, if you make this out of this alive, you're getting... It's gonna be like, you guys are gonna come out of this like, this is your training montage.
Quest to
I'm the
investigate.
best around.
No, it's not the quest for investigate. That comes
down.
much later.
It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the race.
Oh yeah, wasn't my black-boned quarterstaff, didn't it have like mad Scrabbles on it? Was that just random shit?
That was just random shit.
Right.
At least as far as you know.
But it's +1, so it's magical, right?
Yes. Well,
For the
you wouldn't
purpose
know
of-
it as magical. You just know that it hits things a lot easier for some reason.
For the purpose of something not hitting because it has magic defensive, whatever that crap is. I forget what it's called.
You're not sure. You'd have to test it out. But so, you guys want to move towards the rock people?
Rock people.
No. They're not
Say-
crab people.
We'll save that for the trident.
So, all of you roll a d20. Well, actually, you're using the compass, right?
Yeah, if
Roll a d20
if
with
the place
advantage.
has a name, then I can.
Yeah,
just-
roll a d20 with advantage. All three of you.
So 2 d20s. I rolled so bad.
Well, whenever I roll the little dice roller thing,
Oh my
I
God.
always roll horribly.
5, 6, 7, 8.
But
Who
Gene
do we
had earned it.
appreciate?
You managed to make it. About
I
that
can
far
cast Long Strider.
in day.
Long Strider.
Dude, this is a continent. We're lucky we're moving an inch.
Yeah, you managed to move about that far. The compass seems to cut you through a large amount. Unfortunately, you are caught up in a rather rocky area for more than an hour.
Feel like we're going to meet keyless people.
Eh. Not so much.
No, we're meeting a horde of storms.
After you three get stuck in an area because of quicksand, but you managed to get yourselves out of it. It
Thank
does
God
take an
for
hour,
me.
unfortunately.
All right, so every day we're out here, we gotta mark a day for rations, right?
Yep. Here's the thing.
Oh no.
After you guys manage to get out, you feel the jungle around you darken. The shadows get larger. The buzzing of insects starts to fade. The trees get more gnarled, crooked, and small spikes start jutting out of them. You hear this low thrum. This is definitely magically caused. Behind you, you see out of the ground this skeletal hand burst forth. 5 more times this happens.
So is this the lich or just the jungle?
None of you are sure, as skeletal remains of these snake-like creatures start emerging from the ground.
Oh, so Yanti do have bones.
Yeah, Snakes
Yeah.
have bones.
Snakes have very tiny bones.
These things are humanoids, remember.
Yep,
These things are large, by the way.
This is gonna be fun.
Wait. As in 4x4s?
About.
3x3.
Now you have two options. You can try and run, or you can stand and face them.
I set the ground on fire, and I run.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
You can't find a way out from through the trees. It's almost as if the vines between them have thickened into this near impassable barrier.
Oh, lovely.
Roll initiative, everybody.
Can I get a shot off with a dart first?
Sure.
Let's say at this one. $19 hit.
Yeah, 19 hits.
So he got 7 piercing damage.
Which one were you aiming at?
That one.
It dies instantaneously,
Good.
though it was the smallest.
Hey, one less to fight.
Star Wars over here.
Actually,
King zombies.
Oh no, it's the Blackwing virus.
you guys hear the music, or?
Nope.
Nope.
Do you have it set for... Is it like a layer thing?
I see that it's playing now, but I hear it.
Oh, I hear it now.
I had to turn it up. If it's a bit too loud, just tell me.
Listen to the smooth jazz of dark content by Tabletop Audio.
Okay. Ugly's got a roll for initiative now.
They don't have a good initiative.
They all beat me and him. Except one. One just beats me.
Okay. So, well, for another thing, none of them are armed, like in this.
So they're just skeletons, so they have claws and fangs.
Yeah.
And tails.
The one thing that's considered about all of them, they're all staring at you with the intent to kill. Elizabeth, you're up first.
I rush over and attack with a pipe.
Roll to attack. That hits. For 2. The poison does not work on them. They're immune to poison. So it just takes 4 damage. Next up. These things are slow. Three. It's going to try to attack you with a slam.
Body slam, bitch nigga. Talking all that good shit, now you got kicked in your chest.
That hit?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Take 6.
Yeah, but thankfully it's just melee strikes. Or empty-handed strikes.
Yeah.
Man, it's still doing 6 damage with a
2,
melee strike.
3.
Compared to the 4
4.
I made.
Jing, you're up.
Do, 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 do. Hello, my fine feathered friend. Let me introduce you to the word.
That hits. Roll damage.
Everybody learn about the bird.
That kills it.
Holy shit!
As its body pulses before all the flesh is just immediately rotted away to reveal the skeleton underneath. Actually, it has undead fortitude. Actually, no. That means it would have to make a DC of 30. Yeah, no.
DC at 30?
It's undead fortitude. If damage reduces the zombie to 0 hit points, it must make a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 5 plus the damage taken, unless the damage is radiant or from a critical hit. On a success, the zombie drops to 1 hit point instead. No, that is not happening. It is dead. Next, this one's going to slam you again. Ten doesn't hit, I'm assuming?
Nope.
You're now used to how these things move, which is rather unusual. When it tries to slam one of its skeletal fists into the ground, you manage to lethally dodge out of the way before moving back in. Rainer, you're up.
Alright. I'ma smack him with my +1 quarterstaff.
Roll to attack.
Natural 20.
Roll damage.
So that's max damage.
That's
17 or 13.
I think it's just 7.
No, because it's a natural. Oh, that's an extra. Oh, I thought I didn't think it doubled the dice already. Sorry.
It just rolled a second die.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you wanted to take 12.
No, that's...
Okay. But you actually knock the lower portion of its jaw just clean off the head.
Still
And
breathing?
you still these like two, no, it's not even breathing. It just looks at you with like the upper part of the jaw, and you see these two fangs, these snake-like fangs, just.
Yeah, I don't like the way you look at me. Unarmed fury blows.
All right, that hits. That hits. Roll damage on both. Okay.
Is he still alive?
8 brought it down to 3. All right, so.
If he's still alive, he has to make a dex save.
Yeah, it makes it so it's knocked prone, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, you slam its jaw off and then immediately draw that back, and almost faster than you can actually track, your fist flicks out and crushes its ribcage inwards, and from the small spatter of this dark blackish red liquid that comes spurting out, you're fairly certain it hit something that should be its heart. It recoils, and before it falls over, you see the chest pop back into place before it falls over. But you can still tell it's still moving. Elizabeth, you're up.
Let's do this again.
Which one are you hitting?
The one in front of me.
Just hits. It takes 10 damage. You take the pike and ram it through its chest and strike, piercing the chest. The force alone is enough to push it back slightly. You're fairly certain you broke several of the ribs, but you didn't hit anything vital yet. You ripped the pike out, taking a trail of this blackish blood with you. This one gets up, shifts, and is going to attempt to hit you. Hit.
Nope.
It swings, but it just whizzes over your head. This one is going to try to hit you again, Elizabeth.
Isn't that the 7?
They got the same initiative. Anyways, it didn't hit anyway, so it doesn't matter. This one is going to make a beeline for you, Rainer. It does not get advantage. Doesn't hit. Jin, you're up.
Wait, is inflict wounds the ones where he gets temporary hit points if he kills it?
Different thing.
No, that's life tap.
Oh, okay.
After this, I'm going to need a quick bathroom break.
Does that hit?
Yeah. Roll damage. Which one are you hitting?
Mr. right here.
Okay. Next up. I got things mixed up, so... Rainer?
Alright, I'm gonna smack the one which I broke his ribcage.
Okay. Smack him with the quarterstaff.
14.
That hits. Roll damage.
Did that kill?
It brought it down to 0. Just one sec. No, it's still alive. This time you drive it into its side. You basically cause the head to spin like a top. And it makes this very sicking noise the first time the spine snaps. Then the head just starts spinning freely before, as the head, why did I say kid, snaps back into place. Bores, and the eyes bore into you again.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Another key point. Fury of blows.
All right. Roll attack. Roll damage for both. You take 8 points of piercing damage as you drive the fist in. It, with an almost inhuman speed, it reacts and shifts just ever so slightly that your hand goes into one of the ribs that broke and never reformed, piercing the hand. You don't go straight through, but it stings like hell as you pull back. You then kick out, trying to smash the ribcage again. It finally, as the body collapses. Your hand hurts like hell.
Finally.
Next up, Elizabeth.
Hit it one more time.
Hits, and it's dead. Well, wait. No, it's still alive. You actually drive the pike hard enough that it just goes straight through to the back. It's still moving, even though you pierced it. You managed to wrench the pike back to you, but it just slumps forward. As you notice, this one has its complete throat ripped out. It's not so much making a noise as more just a hiss. It's going to attack. $14 hit.
Nope.
It misses. Rainer, this one's going to go for you.
Yeah, that hits.
Two damage. Jing, you're up. Roll damage. It just blows up. No saving throw, just dead.
Come on, can't you save against that?
Undead Fortitude. If damage reduces a zombie to 0 hit points, it must make a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 5 plus the damage taken, unless the damage is radiant or from a critical hit. Actually, no, wait, that means this one's dead too. So they're all dead. As the last corpse, this one seems to have just been on its last breath, and then, well, quote unquote breath, before it just collapses into a pile of rotting flesh. You feel a slight sense of elation until you hear from deeper in the woods this just ungodly howling noise. The branches behind you seem to recede, and you all just start running. We're gonna take a quick break. I need to go to the bathroom. You guys can do what you want. We'll convene back at around 8:50. Sound good?
Right.
Yay. Hello. Hello. Necro, don't you have inflict wound as well?
All right, I'm back.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay, so after that scene, you guys managed to make camp. Who takes first watch?
Yes, I can.
All right, you take first watch. Roll perception check.
Watch me ruin this perception check.
Oh! You're on a hot streak.
This one is in a fucking row.
You hear very faintly outside of the camp. You hear someone, help, please. It sounds like nobody you knew. Actually. And it just sounds like somebody legitimately needs help.
I wake Rainer and Necro.
What do you do?
I wake Rainer and Necro.
Rainer and Necro, you are both awoken by Jing. Neither of you know what's going on.
Sounds like somebody's shouting out there in the forest.
Yeah.
Do they sound human or humanoid?
Yes.
Jing, you still hear the person screaming for help, but you also hear the distant.
Sounds like they met some of our friends.
Where's Rainer?
Rainer? Oh, I think he might actually be gone until 8:50.
Yeah, you only been gone for like 2 minutes.
No, I know. I thought the
I
bathroom would
pick
be kind
Rainer
of
up and
packed.
I put him over my shoulder and we go find out.
Yeah, no, you kind of just drag him. Come on, motherfucker, you're coming with us. All right, so both of you roll dex checks. You both managed to get there before anything else does. It's a male, human, lighter skinned. He's wearing pretty unusual clothing. This sort of armor constructed of bone and fragments of metal. He's clutching his leg, which seems pretty badly messed up. It's twisted to one angle badly. He's kind of just panting. He like panically holds a dagger out to you three before when he sees you entering, but then drops it when he sees that you're not undead. Oh God. The leg violently snaps back into place.
You're
You
welcome.
see these black veins pulsing in his leg still. Oh God. Please.
Whoa, what happened?
You just woke up. You're slung over Jing's shoulder. You can't see what's going on.
8:50.
Yeah, I didn't think the bathroom would be as packed as the bathroom wasn't as packed as I thought it was.
All right, what did I miss?
Guy was screaming in the woods. Jing threw you over his shoulder, and they went to go and check.
Why did Jing throw me over his shoulder?
Because you wouldn't wake up.
What happened to me?
You were just asleep. Anyways, you like send Jing over your shoulder. You're like, "Ah," as Rainer wakes up.
Morning, Sleeping Beauty.
Shut up.
Is he still screaming?
The screams have more come to like whimpering more. His leg seems to be not functioning anymore. You notice there's these small barbs embedded in his leg, and from them these like small black like spider web patterns have sort of emitted from them. The flesh has taken on a very unhealthy tone. Cut it off. In one swift move, you cleanly cut through the bone right at the knee as He clenches his teeth. We need to get out of
I'm
here.
not carrying him, by the way.
He quickly also grabs the leg.
Why does he grab the leg?
He doesn't say. He just grabs his leg.
The leg we cut off, or his other leg? He's grabbing his leg, the one we cut off?
Yeah, the part that was just cut off, he grabs it.
How big is this guy?
He's kind of spindly, thin, not much muscle mass. He's kind of dressed in this ramshackle garb. Doesn't look much like armor, more like robes, if anything, with like bits of metal and bone. Just more for structure than anything.
I guess I help shoulder him.
Yeah, you kind of shoulder him. It's just like, you guys managed to get back to camp before the undead show up.
Shouldn't have closed the wound.
The wound seems to have closed. He was sort of muttering under his breath, and the wound seems to have closed up on its own. You managed to get back to camp and sort of set him down.
So what you doing out here, pretty boy?
One moment. He passes out. He rolled a nat 1 on a con save. He's like heavily breathing. You ask him the question as he just like falls backwards.
I thought we slap him until he wakes up.
Can I inspect his leg with the poison? I'm guessing.
You try and take the leg from him?
Tension on it?
He was clutching it in one hand.
I'll look at it while it's still in his hand.
You notice the flesh is quickly starting to rot away. Like, there's no odor to it. It's within 20 minutes, it would be bone.
That's not healthy. That's not healthy at all.
Do you try to slap him awake? So you slap him awake?
Yeah.
It takes about actually 20 minutes, and by this time his leg's fully decomposed. Mice. I need mice.
You need mice?
Or anything small. Creature that's small. I need it. His hand shoots out to the side. No, his hand shoots out to the side and grabs a snake that was sort of just slithering through the grass unnoticed. He slams it down. He takes the bone, jams it back into the stump, takes out a knife, mutters something under his breath, and slams the knife into the snake's head. You see this soft glow emanate from the bone before you see this toes start to wiggle again. Good. Still works.
I go over to Jing. What the fuck magic is that? don't know what necromancy is.
The magic I use.
Essentially, by taking a smaller life, I animate my leg. And he kind of flexes the bony portion of his leg. What's left? Thank you for saving me, though. I don't think I would have been able to make it. Oh, God, the others are dead.
Others?
I wasn't just traipsing through the woods in the middle of the night alone, now was I?
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a bit on edge because I just saw all my friends get slaughtered and also nearly lost my own leg. I think I'm allowed to be a bit snarky.
And flashbacks.
He's more interested in testing out his leg and kind of isn't paying attention to you three. Works
So,
well.
who are you?
Call me Bones. And he sort of lifts up his shirt, and you actually see that parts of his ribs are showing. Not like the skin's he's so thin that his skin's just like tied up against his rib cage. No, his actual rib cage is showing. I'm not exactly alive. Also, I don't even remember my old name, so Bones is kind of what I went with. Given that, well...
You're from that city that got destroyed.
Yeah. Look, I can get by on my own in the morning. I need to get back and tell them that the others are, well, actually dead. Look, if you come by, I'll put in a good word for you, but I'm honestly I just need to get going. You mind if I stay with you for the night? I can keep watch. I don't need to sleep.
So this doesn't work on you?
That's one of the thing sort of clatters into it. Where are you aiming?
Oh, well, basically right in front of me.
It's an AoE.
Oh, sleep?
Well, you're the only one that's not going to be affected by it, so...
No. It's like, now that you know he's not living, you notice that for him, like, the act of breathing almost seems a bit forced for him. Like, he constantly has to keep reminding himself to do it. Look.
Do you have a phylactery? Is that how you work?
The hell's a phylactery?
Necromantic magic that your soul lives in to keep your body from dying. We
had these vials, but maybe those are what you're talking about. I don't know. We had something similar, but maybe that is what it is. Hey, can I ask you guys a favor? In the morning, can we go and try and find my friends? If what you're saying about this phylactery business is true, then maybe they're still alive.
And you're the necromancer. How likely is that?
I guess still moving. God, this is still new to me. Believe it or not, I was actually a cleric. Oh, God. servants
The
of
opposite of
a
what I
higher
do.
power. We
They're
represent
supposed
the
to hear
gods in the
things.
mortal coil. And typically the undead are something they do not like. That opinion obviously died very quickly. You get the general sense that he might have followed Sandra.
Sandra.
Goddess of light and life.
Ah,
Or at least civilized life. Fenthra, her twin sister, is the goddess of wilderness. So, anyways,
we realized that my sleep spell never works on anyone.
I thought that's why you got rid of it.
It's still in my spell book. I gotta look for something different.
anyways, you guys can go ahead and sleep. I'll keep watch for the rest of the night.
Can I insight check him to see if he's telling the truth?
Sure. Roll an insight check. He's probably telling the truth.
Where's that magic detecting orb?
We each have
one
one.
of you. Yeah, each of you have one.
I take one out and I search his body with it.
It starts glowing on his leg. But
Just his leg?
yeah, just his leg. Nothing else on him is magic.
Not even his ribs?
No. Yeah, and now that you get a better look at him, certain parts of him just seem inhuman. His skin overall has this sort of unhealthy pallor to it. Like it's sort of been dead a while. His eyes have these sort of like...
Oh, wait. I just wasted a healing hand on somebody that technically can't die.
Technically, that should have hurt him, right?
It seems to be more psychosomatic with him. You think. You're not honestly sure. Again, you haven't really come across sentient undead that haven't tried to kill you. Things might work differently with him. But the point is, it doesn't seem that that those things that were embedded in his leg were what caused it to have that pallor to it. Rather, that's just the general skin tone he has. You notice his eyes are sort of sunken into his head slightly. The skin around his skull seems to be pulled a bit too tight. And there's these ring marks around his neck. Anyways, go ahead, get some sleep. I can keep watch. You'd be surprised how much time you have to think to yourself if you cut out sleeping. You guys go to sleep?
Yep.
I guess.
Fuck it.
All right. Three of you. Morning comes.
Is my
Bones
head
is sort of
still attached?
yes. Everything's still attached. Bones is still there, in fact. Morning. and he's actually sort of taken out one of his eyes and is polishing it.
Oh my god, that's disturbing.
Yeah, no, the way you wake up is you hear this as you hear him like polishing something glass. Oh, and you see him fumble with and like, morning. You guys slept like rocks. I'm guessing you guys had a busy day yesterday.
Yeah.
Undeads everywhere.
Oh, you ran into some of them too. What were they?
Y'all deep, but they exploded.
Oh, huh. Some of the bigger fuckers.
Yep.
Yeah, those ones are nasty. They're a lot more fragile than the others, surprisingly, but still, those bastards pack a punch. Anyways, think you can help me out?
Where exactly were your friends?
He kind of points a little ways that way.
I compare that to where we're going.
It is sort of in the same direction, a bit
Just off?
just about here.
It's on the way. Ish.
If you need something for compensation, he pulls out a small wart. He pulls out like a small sort of charm. It's made of bone and this black rock-like material. This seems to keep the curse from noticing you for longer. Buys you a bit of breathing room. I can make more. My friends have a few of their own, and well, I figure I owe ya. What are you investigating?
The charm.
It looks legitimate.
Do I notice any like magical properties about it? Like what they
Use your magic
use?
detector.
Oh yeah, I have something that's for this somewhere in this
You
spell
literally have
book
little
of mine.
baubles that detect if it's magic or not.
Yeah, but the baubles don't tell what it does. This does though.
Oh, sorry, had myself muted. It's exactly what he said it is.
Cool. Now I touch him.
20 minutes later.
Demi-Lich.
I'll have to look that up. I've completely forgot what that is.
Demi-Lich are essentially very young liches. Ones that haven't fully completed the rituals and necessary incantations to fully transcend to lichdom. Usually it's what's described to mages who are on death's door and about to attempt a ritual to ascend to lichdom. But in this case, it just seems...
All these people have been converted to demi-liches, but they haven't done none of the rituals.
Do you know how your town came back from the dead?
He muted himself again.
Bran, you muted yourself again.
God damn it. As I was saying, I'm willing to talk about this. I think we can just talk about this while we're walking.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll lead the way.
So
But-
what are their souls stuck in if they're all demi-liches?
Like I said, we had this massive storeroom where everybody kind of kept these vials. Each one was sort of meant for an individual person. We had no idea what they were for at the time, but after everybody changed, suddenly the vials seemed a lot more important to us for some reason.
Wait,
No one ever figured out, but
you
Your
started,
maybe
souls in there.
phylacteries that you keep talking about.
you started putting those in a place before this happened?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know. No one ever told me anything. I was just the town's healer. Everybody just came to me for cuts, bruises, the occasional disease. Beyond that, I was kind of kept out of the loop, and I liked it that way. I'm not exactly a people's person. But you wanted to know more about how we woke up?
Yeah.
Like I said, we sort of just started waking up. The oldest said they've been alive for years. The youngest I know of woke up a couple weeks ago. No one really knows why anybody wakes up. But
Wait, so are there just people when they die just lying around?
we tend to get rid of their corpses. Don't want to take any chances with tendency of people in the jungle not staying dead if they're not one of us. We burn any corpse that stay dead. Which is why I want to find my friends. If they're not among my kind, well, I don't want whatever's going on here to get them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, coming to terms with the fact that we were all dead wasn't the hard part. It was more getting used to not having to really take care of our bodies outside of bathing and making sure we didn't lose anything. I mean, before the food ran out, we were still eating normally. Then when it ran out, we just stopped and everybody was fine. Again, it's something that was weird as hell, but we got used to it with time. I swear, some people are still trying to eat stuff. The worst is the ones that don't have any organs left, so it just goes in one end and out the other, or rather, it just drops out of his system. Anyways, I'm relatively old, I guess. About 3 years? Time gets a bit odd with us, I guess. Since we don't have nights, well, since we don't really sleep, I guess I was kind of lying about not needing to sleep. We still need it, but in the loosest sense. If we don't just actively try to put our bodies at rest, we start to get a bit loopy. And at this point, you get to the clearing. Oh, we're here. Jaden! Alan! Reset! He kind of just starts shouting these names, and eventually you see this rustling in the bushes on the other side of the clearing as this rather large skeleton just steps out. Wait,
Friend of yours?
reset? It slowly nods its head and then kind of walks over and just picks him up into a hug. Okay, glad to see you too, girl. Put me down. Put me down. It does. Well, she does. And then she kind of like worldly looks at the new leg. Oh, yeah. Kind of got into a bit of a trouble with it. Like, it doesn't have any facial expressions, but it has the general appearance of worry? At least from its kind of hand gestures. Again, it's a skeleton, like a full skeleton.
Human skeleton.
Orc.
Hmm.
I guess this is it then.
At a certain point, two others. One that's just like a torso, but floating.
What?
And the other that's just, and he's carrying with it, and it's carrying with it a head. Rickton? Jaden? What the hell happened to you?
I was just about to ask that myself.
The head's the one that talks. Yeah, we got cornered by those undead bastards. Kind of obliterated my body. Now this is all that's left. The other one doesn't have a jaw. And kind of just nods. And oh, Rickton, I guess nothing more was taken from you, though.
How is he floating?
He's a Jimmy Lich. Technically, they don't need to walk.
Can they all do that?
Yeah.
Not all of us. Some of us are just skeletons. No magic whatsoever. Reset's one of them. And to sort of emphasize the point, Reset instead picks up this pretty hefty tree branch and instead just snaps it in half to emphasize strength over magic. And with that, Reset kind of like stare. If a skeleton could stare, Reset does, like at you three. Don't worry, they're friends. I think. Really, they just saved me.
Actually, we were actually eventually going to head to your town anyway.
Really? Why? And this is the head talking.
We're kind of going to each of the tribes and trying to get them to agree to band together to try to fix the curse on the forest.
Huh. So... That would be an interesting thing to try to solve.
All right.
Tell you what, why don't you guys come with us? We'll take you back to our village, and you can probably meet the elder without them trying to kill you. Especially if you come as part of a group.
Ice cream!
Hey, no.
We're going through the
You hear a haunting siren's melody on the winds.
Probably be better if
I'm
we
down.
went with someone that actually is from the place, though.
The Rockbloods? That murderous band of thieves and raiders?
They were the closest.
They skinned one of our friends alive.
I thought y'all were dead.
You get the point.
Can he still feel that when they're liches?
He sure as hell seemed like he could feel it with all the screaming he hit. All the screaming. Again, this is still just the head.
Okay, maybe we skip the rock sword people.
Wasn't this guy?
No. If you're planning on raising an army, you're sure as hell gonna need those bastards. It might be. You might not be able to trust them as far as you can throw the fuckers, but I can't be one to deny that they sure as hell can throw. They sure as hell can met out some damage. Nearly gave Reset could barely hold off one of them, and well, I've seen her bench press things twice her size.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
Should we follow them to the undead city?
Better to go in an envoy than by ourselves.
True. I guess we'll follow you.
Great. Head kind of like the head's jaw is just like clacking up and down. By the way, if I could shake your hand, I would. But well, I'm kind of short of body.
I don't have
a
my
random
book.
skeleton. Can you attach him? Would he take over?
Hell no, that's
I
not
don't
how it
know.
works. I need my
don't know.
original
I don't
body.
have my books. I don't have my books. Stop asking me questions. I don't have my books.
I need my original body, and that got smashed to hell. I'm stuck as a head now. Honestly, my body wasn't all that impressive, so really it's not much of a step down.
How was that attaching to a machine?
You mean like one of the Warforged?
Yep.
I'm not becoming one of those soulless fucks.
Wait,
You technically don't have a soul right now.
Hell yes, I do. Come over here and I will fight you about that, motherfucker.
says the head. But what's a Warforged?
Wow, you guys must really not get around if you don't know that. Okay.
Kind of new to here.
Actually, let's...
Talk on the way.
Jaden, the floating one, is kind of just holding Rickton on his shoulder, faced around so that he can talk. So, the Warforged are essentially... You ever seen a golem?
No.
Yep.
Oh, God. Okay, basically, imagine a person. Now, make them out of metal.
Okay.
Essentially, that's the Warforged. Metal people. Thing is, there's a big debate in our village over whether those bastards have souls or not. I am of personally my own opinion that they are soulless. Reason being, they were made as war machines. Whatever the hell made them intended for them to be used as pawns in a war. Nothing more, nothing less. And considering two of them nearly managed to destroy an entire platoon, that being 50 of our people, I don't like them.
Ooh, it's probably a bad idea to tell you that they were planning to recruit them too.
I can't really tell you. Well, my opinion isn't that much weighted. Again, I'm just ahead now, so whatever club I did have probably isn't much of a matter at the moment. Point being, if you do go to them, tread carefully and watch what you touch. Trust me, these things really value whatever's left behind of their old people. That's, if I remember right, how the original confrontation started between us two. One of us took something that they really valued.
Which was?
Hell if I know, they're all dead. Well, deader than us.
At rest?
Yeah, I'm not using those terms.
Permanently?
50 of them.
Hmm. Can I do a knowledge roll here? This is
On
really
what?
bugging me. On demi-liches.
Yes.
Intelligence roll. God, you gotta be shitting me.
Let me look up what the demi-liches say. Demi-liches can take one of two forms. Either they're liches that have failed to feed their phylacteries human souls, or they're liches who never really activated their phylactery in the first place and are slowly withering away. Essentially, it's either just a head or a semi-fleshy body. But yeah, it's just a head. It's either just the head or the body, one of the two. At least that's what you think. In fact, identify might not have worked correctly. Again, these things aren't normal.
And we're walking.
You take about a full day, and you don't move much, at least on the map. Camp is made, and there's definite grouping. Bones elects to stay with you guys, mostly just to keep sort of the veil of friendship going between you guys. The others are still wary of you, and they stay in their own separate group.
I challenge a big one to the arm wrestling contest.
All right. She basically Reset seems really excited about that. Roll a strength check.
I'm gonna fucking lose. Yeah.
You rolled a 9. But it's a very pathetic struggle between both of you. You're not really used to holding a pure bony hand, and she's not used to fighting somebody that's pure flesh. So it's sort of like a very back and forth before she finally lightly taps your hand into the ground.
I'm just waiting for Necro to laugh.
Surrounded by children.
What did I do?
Perception. Our rolls are just getting shitty.
What were you trying to perceive?
I'm taking first watch.
You don't get much.
Who's taking second watch?
Oh Jesus! You're lucky. You're lucky. One of the undead is also watching with you.
Ah, zombie!
It was boring, so I fell asleep.
And up comes Bone Dragon.
Nope. Nothing happens. And that is where we're going to end it for tonight. Because my voice is starting to get sore, people. Yeah.